Hello, my name is Devin with HDpiano.com, and in today's lesson, I'll be showing you guys how to play Everything I Wanted, a new release from Billie Eilish. It sounds like this. That's our main riff. I'm going to jump ahead. This is where the left hand starts to pick up speed. That's all we're learning in this video. But eventually, we're going to get towards a very full, very pianistic arrangement. So basically, this song relies on a 4 or 8 measure piano loop as far as the piano itself is concerned. But for that reason, we figured it would make more sense to make a standalone arrangement that kind of follows the arc of the song. So it starts very soft, very gentle, and it builds up towards something, that really holds its own just with the piano, assuming you're just playing the piano and maybe singing or working with the singer. So you'll be able to learn the rest of this arrangement over at HDpiano.com, but for now we're going to focus on that intro riff, the main riff, as we like to call it. Before I show you these notes here, this D major 7 chord, I just want to talk about that effect. So you hear it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Right, so what that is called sidechain compression. It's a very common effect used in pop music, and essentially it's just like taking your hand to the volume knob and just turning it down quickly on the downbeat of every beat, I guess. So, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 down. All right, so that's called sidechain compression, a new word in your musical vocabulary, and it's such a useful tool in pop production. You hear it everywhere. Anyways, D major 7, we've got a D in the left hand, F sharp and C sharp in the right hand, and middle C is here, so we're pretty low on the keyboard for this, but later on we'll be occupying some more of this range. So D, F sharp, and C sharp, we're going to add an A with the right, and then bring both hands in a little bit to E in the left, G sharp, and B in the right. So basically we're going from that D major chord, D major 7, to E major. All right, and this is 2 measures, and the rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just hang out on that E for the remaining measure. Then we go to C sharp minor, C sharp in the left, E and C sharp in the right. Add a G sharp, and then go to a different version of the D, which instead of F sharp on bottom has A on bottom. So D, A, and C sharp. So those 3 chords really make up the entirety of the piece. D major 7 to E, and then C sharp minor, adding G sharp to D major 7 again in slightly different shapes. So this is D, A, and C sharp. And then to finish off this 4 measure round, we get a little walk up the A major scale. We are in the key of A major, even though we never really see an A chord, but we have 3 sharps, so A major. So we walk A, B, C sharp, D. That's 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So the only difference there on the second time around is that we anticipate that G sharp. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. And then on beat 4 we fill it out with the E and the B. And then our next 2 measures, again C sharp minor, only this time we start with E and G sharp, re-articulate the E with a C sharp on top, and then on beat 4, we land on this D major, just plain old D major triad with the D down an octave. So D, F sharp, and A. So D major 7, add the A to E. C sharp minor, add the G sharp, and then pull that up into an A with a D in the bass. Little scalar line. Anticipate the G sharp, and now C sharp minor with G sharp and E in the right, adding C sharp, and then D major. So we'll do that once for the intro. Let's do it in time, a little bit slower than the recording. 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. That's the intro. Let's move on to the verse. A little faster. More or less the tempo. Same. Anticipate. And C sharp minor, C sharp, D, 1, 2, and off. Okay, so that's the only difference. Once we start the verse, in that 8th measure, we're going to break on beat 3. Nice clean break. And then following that is when the kick drum comes in. And so we've been feeling this pulse with that side chain compression, right? All right, I'm not going to use the effect anymore, but now the kick drum is going to fill that space that's been created by that. So it's like there was this void, and now suddenly it's like doom, doom, doom. We get that 4 on the floor. So this is where if you're playing with a band and you're replicating all these things, which I would guess is pretty unlikely, then you might just want to stick to the piano part as it is. But if you're just playing by yourself, or maybe with a percussionist and a singer, then you can start to add some 4 on the floor in the left. So that's this 4 on the floor just means when there's a low element on every beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the floor, and there's 4 beats, 4 on the floor. So D and A in the left. And we're going to keep the right hand more or less the same. And we're just going to move this on beat 4 to E. Hold it through the next measure, or pulse it through the next measure. And then again, C sharp, back to D. And we're just adding this power 5th on top. So D and A, E and B, C sharp and G sharp, and back to D. Let's try that with the right hand that we already know. 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Down to C sharp. Now walk it up. And we're going to repeat that. And again. Now we anticipate. We do the alternative C sharp. And now we're back to the original. And now we're at the pre-chorus. So as you can see, the form changed a little bit. We basically have 2 elements to the right hand. And let's go back to that intro to consider the differences, right? So we had this one. Let's call that option A. And then option B, where we anticipate the G sharp and play those alternative C sharps and just plain old D major here. So option A and option B. And so for the intro, we have A, B, and then for the verse, we have A, B, and then we break in that 8th measure, right? Clean break, and then we bring in the 4 on the floor, and we're going to do A, A, B, A. So one more time, starting from the 4 on the floor. 3, 4. Repeat it. Whoops, my bad. All right, now option B, with the anticipated G sharp, C sharp, plain old D major, and back to option A. And then we're going to start building up the arrangement for this first pre-chorus, but I'm going to save that for part 1. I'm just going to do a quick scan of the music here and see. Let's see. We're not really going to see... Okay, yeah, at the end of verse 2, we're going to see a little bit of this recycled going into the second pre-chorus. So this gets us all the way up to the first pre-chorus, and then we're going to kind of flesh out the arrangement from there. But at the end of the second verse, we'll be returning to this style of the main riff, and they'll be taking it up a couple octaves and doing something like this. All right, so there's a lot in store over at HDpiano.com, so I hope you can come join me for the rest. My name is Devin. It's been a pleasure showing this one to you guys, and while I have you here, please like and subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on social media so you know about all of our upcoming lessons. I'll see you over at part 2. Take care.